map of somewhere I already forgot. This light is really good. And now we're getting into a church, which is apparently a serious place, so I put on a serious facial expression. Dun dun dun! Who first spots the rag got a prize. The only thought I have in this museum is that the designers here are so good at making it children friendly. The whole interior is super immersive and also very fun to a kid. And let's see who's living here. I watched my first opera ever in my life. It's a Midsummer
Nights
Dream. I read a book like 5 more years ago. All of what I can remember is that the names in the books are so hard to remember. It's crazy. Even when I'm reading the ending of the book, those names are still messed up in my mind. So basically I don't remember anything from the plot. So I don't know what to expect. And I don't know how much has been adjusted based on the book in the opera. So I'm super excited when I find that they're still vacant. Actually, the whole first row was vacant when I was buying it. So of course I picked the center. It's quite interesting because in China, the first row is always the best seat with the highest price, but in the Operan it's not. I think it's around the center area on the ground floor is the highest price. I never managed to get a center seat at first row in China because everybody just wait for the tickets to release. I don't even know how they managed to get it so quick. The only drawback I would say is that the orchestra is right in front of me, and since the actors and actresses hardly use mic, many times the volume of the instruments are actually higher than they singing. But the scene is amazing. I'm so grateful that I chose first row, that I can see the performance of actors and actresses really closely. There are 3 scenes that impressed me the most. First is of course the first act. There are 3 apartment rooms aligned like 2 at the bottom and 1 high up at the background. I love the lighting. It's a bit bluish and everything is tranquil. All of the actors and actresses stayed at their spot still. I'm actually a bit confused at the time because the room settings and the dressing all are kind of like modern. And the second scene is that a lot of stuff hanging on truss are coming down and pushing closer to the ground. It's like compressing the space. After the first scene, the room at the back came down to the ground, and then I feel like the stage looks a bit empty at the top, and then those stuff coming down immediately fix it. There are printed portraits, furnitures, lamps hanging like in a quite messy but beautiful order, and it fills the whole space, adds to the tension. But my favorite is definitely the next one. It's spectacular. So there was a bunch of cracked furnitures. They piles up basically like a ruin. It's so impressive. What's the best part is there are 2 pair of actors lying on the ground. At the front stage, one at left and one at the right. The light sheds directly on them, and there are heavy haze on the stage, so that the ruin at the back is kind of vague. It's literally an oil painting. It actually reminds me of the Liberty leading the people. I'm basically shocked when the curtain lifted up and everything is just there in front of me, like 2-3 meters away. As the highlight of the spotlight changes from front to the back, there's a completely different feeling. The composition is so nice, and also the color, majorly white, but also a piece of red and blue, which really adds to the feeling of oil painting. Since this is my first time listening to opera and the subtitles are in Swedish, I can't really understand what they are singing. I'm just guessing by I might capture 50-60% of what they are singing, and I might understand 30-50% of the Swedish captions. I'm just putting everything together like a puzzle and trying to decode what's happening on the stage. It's very fun though. I say my favorite is the musical. I was checking where should I go on the National Day yesterday, and I found that there are a lot of activities going on the Stora Parken, and many of them are marked as fun for families. And so, of course, I come and there are kids everywhere. And all of the activities I saw are only for kids, so I had to somewhere else. Oof. Every time I'm here, there are always a huge number of Hammarby fans. And this time they're even lighting fireworks in the middle of the road. I didn't take the picture when the smoke blocked the whole street. And I just quickly fled to have lunch. And as everybody would expect, there are a huge number of people in the palace. It surprised me that the square is like an open fair. Took a picture with the royal family car, but I blocked the symbol, so another one. And then I went to the Tre Kronor museum, which I expect to see 3 crowns, but it turns out that it's just the name of a tower. I'm really a fan of treasure hunt, but the wire models are really cute. Got my dinner gift, and to the royal armory that I miss in Couture. The helmets are super cool. There's also one for the trial, like the sword, but I have to lie down on the ground to get my head in, so no. These coaches are literally like coming out from the fairy tale. This is the very few time that I feel like it's great to be born in a royal family.